Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is Harley Quinn, Season 2, Episode 1, New Gotham. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another season of Harley Quinn. Before I get started, let me take care of some business and then we'll get to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see at the very end of this video a video pop up here. And basically, what YouTube does takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out once a week. Sometimes it gets a little bit buggy. All you have to do is refresh it. I don't know why. It just does that. Sometimes it puts up a really old schedule, but if you refresh it, it should be good. And you can also go to Facebook and take a look at my page there, and I have the schedule mirrored on there as well. And speaking of Facebook, there's a Facebook group page which you guys can join and post stuff and talk amongst yourselves, all that kind of good stuff. There's also a Twitter and Instagram and a Patreon page, but no tier set up as of yet. All right. And all those links can be found on suspendedfanimation.com. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not watched the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. Oh, good God, man. I mean, it seemed like only a few months ago that season one. Oh, wait, it did. It was just like a couple months ago that season one ended with an 8.6 earthquake in Gotham, taking out both Batman and the Joker. And we pick up pretty much where we left off, where Gotham's in shambles. The president of the United States basically says that Gotham has been cut off. It's no longer part of the United States. And everyone's fucked who's in Gotham, except for the criminals who think it's it's a heyday at this point. And of course, what does Harley have to do? She has to fuck up even more of a good thing by going in and instead of letting the like Penguin and the Riddler and Bane and all that stuff cut up Gotham or taking Gotham over for herself, considering that she killed the Joker, or did she? Um, she ends up united the henchmen and the goons, or the henches and the goons, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure the writers of this show worked with the Venture Brother guys at some point in time, because there's just too many similarities for this shit to work unless they're big fans of the Venture Brothers, one of the two, which is right there. It's Venture Brothers book right there. So the henches and the goons end up turning against, their the supervillains, if you will, and trying to create their own little hierarchy. So instead of dealing with one or two uh bad guys, now they're dealing with thousands of these little assholes out there that are trying to take over everything. And yeah, exactly. Not everyone wants utter chaos, Harley. That's exactly right, Viking Bitch. You're right. And of course, what ends up happening, but the villains end up putting together the Injustice League, and they think about joining, inviting Harley over. And of course, she gets pissed off because she sees she's only going to get this little portion of Gotham, and a bad portion at that. And Mr. Freeze ends up freezing her into a block of ice for her problems. So yeah. And poor Jim Gordon. If this wasn't gonna be the thing that drives him to drink, that he was already drunk as it was, this would have been the thing. But yeah, Batman's not coming, even though he's turning the light. Robin shows up dressed as Batman, complete with little stuffed muscles and everything. And I love how, he goes, I'm the new Batman, I'm taking over the mantle. And Jim Gordon just throws his liquor bottle at him and hits him in the head. Because, ow, that's plastic, that hurts. Which I thought was fucking hilarious, by the way. And yes, the Barbara, his wife, does sound exactly like Dr. Girlfriend from the Venture Brothers. There's just too many similarities, quite honestly. Yeah, that was my favorite line too, Pin. So of course, her crew, Harley's crew, has to break her out of the Penguins nightclub, because she is the centerpiece of the Penguins nightclub. And of course, they do so with a a fucking plan by Clayface, which works kind of in a way. Yeah, and I love how King Shark says, we never realized how much you actually, put this group together, how you kind of mentored us. We were lost without you. We didn't realize how lost we were. And as she's getting shuffled around as a block of ice, and they've freed her face and her swinging arm, and they're shuffling her, through this nightclub. They're just basically taking out henchmen and goons, henches and goons, using this big block of ice that Harley's still in and alive, and crushing them up against walls and downstairs. And Harley's, screaming out, "Sweep the leg, Johnny!" and maniacally laughing, which is just batshit crazy. And when they finally, she basically gets locked in a room with Penguin for her trouble, and she bites off his nose first and then dodges all his blasts and then fucking kills the Penguin. So this is a very dark, dark episode. As well as being funny, it's very, very dark. And Jesus, I just yeah, the Penguin's death, I was like, "Holy fuck." First they killed the Scarecrow at the end of last season, and then they killed the Penguin at the beginning of this season. I'm like, "Really? They're just," that was just one of those things that kind of surprised me that they are killing these guys. They're killing off established characters in the DC comics, and I'm like, okay, they're playing for keeps on this one. This isn't bad." Maybe a couple of years ago, I would say probably about 10 years ago, if I had seen something like this, it would have pissed off comic book me. But no, this is actually fairly well done. This is the way you want to do something like this, and it's animated, quite honestly. So it doesn't have the impact of like a movie or something like that if you're doing a movie universe, even though it still is an established and really good universe the way they've done this. I'm still holding out that there's gonna be time travel involved in order to put this back together again, but I could be wrong. I'm always, up for some time travel shenanigans, quite honestly. So yeah. Yeah, Penguin is a huge villain too, both in stature and also in the DC comics. See what I did there? But yeah. And we find out that she's been on ice quite literally for 2 months. And it took 2 months for them to come up with a plan that was gonna work, and as Poison Ivy says, she goes, "Yeah, I've personally been shot a couple times." And Dr. Psycho's like, "Well, I haven't been shot, but I did have to put aside some plans." And the fact that they used Clayface's plan, which just made me laugh. Yeah, that was a lot of gore for an animated series. I agree with you, Viking Bitch. It was a lot of gore. And, so we see at the very end, after those 2 months that Harley was on ice, the villains have carved up Gotham City, and basically Poison Ivy brings Harley to the roof and shows her that this whole town has been carved up, that Gotham PD is no more. Even the cops have joined, they've become henches and goons. And, yeah, it's pretty fucked up in Gotham right now. People are, even worse off than before than what they were. And we see at the very, very end that there is a guy that was pulled from the rubble of Joker's castle who is in he's been out for a couple of months, and the swelling in his brain might have gone down now, and it's Bruce Wayne. Dun dun dun. So Batman is still alive. Yes. And he was in his Batman garb, so they knew, the doctors knew he was Batman, and now they know he's Bruce Wayne as well. Yeah. I know, Penn. Yeah, it started off with a guy who's, well, first you see 2 dogs fighting over an arm, and then you see the guy bleeding out of one arm, and then you see the other arm is also off and bleeding, and 2 guys fighting over that arm, which is I was like, "Wow." That was pretty violent right there. Yes, King Shark, just chomping henchmen in half. King Shark had a couple of good lines, quite honestly. He really does. So Ron Funches delivers lines fantastically for King Shark. He really does. And Bane, oh my god. The My favorite scene I have to think is when, so I was watching this with headphones on, and I'm trying not to laugh because of where I was watching. I'm not gonna say where. Um, and she's in the block of ice, and you see each of the villains coming up and saying how she's fucked up and how she could have had the city. And Bane comes up and I fucking just started laughing because you couldn't understand fucking shit of what he was saying. And that made me laugh really, really hard. Yes, why do we get rid of the henchmen? They know how to make the coffee. And you see Riddler just push the button. He goes, I warmed it up for you. I loosened it up for you. Mm. Bane's voice is the best thing around. Yeah. Oh god, yeah, it's hilarious. Um, I have to say Bane is probably one of my favorite characters on this. It really is, just because of the voice. Why can't you give me another chair? Why can't we find another executive chair? Because we wanted to see you sit in the folding chair. Oh, I get your joke now. Your jest will be my wrath. Which is hilarious, quite honestly. And the fact that I can do that voice is also just the icing on the cake. Ah, man. It's I have to watch the episode again just because it's so fucking funny and so wrong at the same time. It really is. Um, yeah, there's just so many things. And Cy Borgman as well. Cy Borgman doing the whole you know, yeah, this reminds me of the days when the US pulled out of Nam and there was anarchy, and she goes, no flashbacks. Uh, yeah, it's that one Viking bitch, it just happens to be in my wheelhouse. I can do that voice and pen. Yeah, I don't know why. Uh yeah, yeah. It is funny and wrong at the same time, and you're just you're shaking your head, but you're laughing your ass off. That's what the series is all about. And yeah, if you're not watching this series now that everyone's sequestered in their houses and whatnot, you should be, quite honestly, because it's one of the best series on TV. And yeah, just fucking watch it. Take the 1 week free trial and binge season one. And if you don't like it, well, then you just don't have a dark and twisted sense of humor like the rest of us. That's all I can say because it is really dark and twisted. So, what else you got? I guess that is Dr. Girlfriend right there. What? I want a divorce. Oh, Dr. Girlfriend. Uh, it is dark and twisted like my soul as well. Ah, so what else do I have coming up this week? Well, tomorrow is Saturday morning blast off, where I take the genre news of the week and any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about and talk about it. A lot of it's been COVID-19 related lately, so that's probably going to continue. There's some news as well. Sunday is Westworld. It's Westworld. It will be my wrath. Westworld. Uh Monday will be Dispatches from Elsewhere. And again, another good show. If you're not watching that on AMC, Dispatches from Elsewhere is a fucking awesome show. Tuesday, Tuesday is season 3, episode 1 of Future Man. That's right. Future Man is back on Hulu. They've dropped the entire season 3, and it is the final season. And I am going to go through it episode by episode, one episode a week. So there you go, episode by episode. Wednesday, that's right. Wednesday is going to be Clone Wars. I know you probably thought I forgot about Clone Wars. I haven't. It's just no one really cares about Clone Wars, so it's getting moved over to Wednesdays. So this tonight's episode that dropped this week, I'm going to do on Wednesday. Yeah. Oh, what is the next, is it worth my time? You know, I've been talking to my mods, here and there, and other people too. So I went through and I binged, Picard on, CBS All Access. That's probably why I have some brain damage going on right now. So I probably will at some point during the week do a special "Is It Worth My Time" Picard episode, uh, because it just needs to be fucking said. Yes, I went through all 10 episodes. Uh, yeah, that's all I'm gonna tell you. That's all I can say. If I say any more, it'll spoil it. So that'll happen. It'll be on the schedule, when it does happen. So, my God. Well, there's a lot of drugs involved, Pen, and there was a defibrillator. See, we have defibrillators at work, so I don't have to worry about EMTs and all that stuff, and, I just need somebody to press the button. That was all I needed when it said, "Clear, clear." Self-harm is a terrible thing. It's just self-destruction, Viking bitch. It's like most of my life is made up of whiskey and bad decisions, and, I guess Topo Chico as well. And no, they're not sponsors. I just happen to, be drinking it. Yes, I know it is a, you know, trendy little drink, but it's fucking good. There we go. Plus it keeps me from coughing too. That's the other thing. I still have a little bit of a cough left, just a little bit, mostly clearing up my throat and all that stuff, if you noticed. Yeah. You never heard of Topo Chico? It's the new, hipster drink. So, it's just sparkling water is all it is. So, that's all it is. Brought to you by Spam. It will be my reckoning. So if it's not, is it worth my time? It's whiskey and yes, that's exactly it. Yeah. I know if I know, Pen, I've been actually keeping it under wraps. I can feel it. It's right there. It wants to cough, and I'm like, "No, you're gonna stay down." And I'm not doing it. So, all right. So I don't want to go longer than the episode itself. So I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow for Saturday morning blast off. Until then, actually take a look at suspendedfanimation.com for all the social media links and also for my schedule as well. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. Take a look at that video if you're still on the fence about subscribing. And up here is going to be is it worth my time? Altered carbon resleeved is what's going to be up there. That's right. Hit that like button before you go, like Penn says. Oh, excuse me. That's what the Chopo Chico does to you. I didn't mean to burp into the microphone, but that just kind of rose right up out of there. I am so sorry. That was just completely unexpected on my part. Wow. With that said, with that ending, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Thank you, everybody. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, Topo Chico is gonna make you burp like a motherfucker right when you're on the air. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Stay safe, and I will see you tomorrow morning for Saturday morning blast off. Good night, everybody.